Good morning, class. Good morning. It is good to see you guys. I'm happy that you came to take some time to pour in your future and into your career, your real estate investing business. I hope today just to deliver to you not only some encouraging information, some inspirational information, but I want to electrify you to take action in this real estate business, okay? You're gonna meet my team here, you already did. I'm gonna go over a few things, how we located this house, how we financed this thing, the building materials, and social media. My favorite thing to talk about, but I do not like social media, but it is a necessary evil, all right? You guys are all on social media, you're doing this stuff? You are?
Yep.
You are? I can't. So we're gonna briefly get into social media a little bit because that's where we found this deal. Somebody actually, let's get into the locate part. Let's rewind some too, and I wanna get to know you. I wanna hear your story for the camera. I started in real estate in 2004, right? And I actually met Ron, I don't know, 2010 in passing, and over the years we started, well, maybe we met 12, met Smitty long time ago. So our relationship is extremely old. So we have no problems working together. You say something, you're gonna do it. Somebody can't be somewhere, the other one will show up. So we have a good working relationship. And I highly advise you, if you're gonna be in this business, to get a good team, people that you trust. It's gonna take some time, okay? So me, 2004, I started in the business and I was wondering, how am I gonna finance all this stuff? Trey told me earlier, he bought some of his properties cash, right? And I don't care how big of a fish you are, you have a finite amount of money. You could have 2, 3 million, but at the end of the day, you can only do so many deals. So what do? We deploy private money. Private money. Private money is where we use ordinary moms and pa's to finance our real estate game, all right? Regular people. I can't get too deep into that, but we will get into how some of that works. As I explained, I'm coming up through the ranks. I'm trying to figure out, how am I gonna finance my real estate? How am I gonna do this? I used to go to the banks, get a loan, 80%, I bring 20%, that's 20, 30 grand I gotta bring to a deal. I only had a certain amount of money at that time, so I could only do one deal at a time. Down payment, right? And even if I had 60, 70 grand, bank only financed me 80%, 85%. So I had to bring the other down payment. So I was hitting these roadblocks over and over again. How am I gonna continue to buy real estate? That's when I ran into something called private money. Just by show of hands, does everybody understand what private money is? Got it, okay, got private money down. We use ordinary people to finance our real estate business. This is where, oh my Lord, once you get private money, is anybody using private lenders in here yet? You are, good for you. Laura, locally or are they all around the country?
Local. There's one local, my first investment.
Your first investor? Good for you, that is cool. I'm excited for you. Your future is bright if you already understand the concept. So I was coming up through the ranks. I'm doing 1 or 2 houses here and there. Bank financing me. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to build a real estate empire. Putting 20% down on houses, onesie twosies, right? That's when this came into play, private money and creative financing, right? So we bought this one, creative financing. Would you believe this lady actually deeded us the property? She deeded us the property. And we're gonna go over that in our partnership agreement. So I understand private money and creative financing, which is what really took me off, y'all. And you might watch my content and think that I'm like doing a lot of construction. I don't touch construction. Ron and Smitty are the ones, they're the masterminds behind the construction side. I'm just on the money side. That's where I live. I just raise money. Ron says, how much is it gonna be? Purchase price, how much is the reno? I show up to closing with a check, buy the property. He steps in, works his magic, poof. I'm telling you, man, these dudes, it's like magic. It's like magic, you can see here. So, private money. I wanted to kind of get you there so we can have a framework of where we're gonna be today. So just so I know who's in the room, if you don't mind, give me a quick 30-second commercial of who you are. I love to see the people. This is where I get my energy from. Let's start with you, Todd. Go, bro.
All right, my name's Todd.
All right, so locating deals. Generally speaking, we do a lot of pay-per-click. Are you guys familiar with pay-per-click at all?
Yeah.
So pay-per-click, PPC. I don't see anybody writing, but PPC, I will tell you, it's not the cheapest thing to do. We spent, I don't know, $3,000 a month on our pay-per-click. That is where someone goes into Google and they see you right on the front page. And if you're interested in our Geek Squad, just shoot us an email. We'll send you that information over. We prefer to have deals coming in as opposed to contacting people. Do you want to sell your house? We prefer them to call in wanting to sell the property. For us, it's just a better position to be in. All right, but this particular one here, I want you to know that we found from social media. All right, now who does not have a social media page on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram? Everybody has a page. Who's producing content every day? You don't count. I mean, nobody. I have to ask you why. So I want to tell y'all, let me tell you how we found this one. We do PPC, we do social media retargeting. So somebody watched some videos and the lady said, Chris, you are the person that I want to buy my house. You know, you cannot make this stuff up. The reason why I shot all these videos on the internet is because when you meet me, I want you to know who I am already. Just like when I met my mentor, Patrick Bet-David, when I met him, I already knew everything about him. The importance of you to have your social media put together is so you can have a digital footprint. Have you ever heard me talk about this at all? If you do not have a digital footprint or if you do not create it, the internet will create one for you. All right, I'm gonna repeat that. If you do not create your own digital footprint, the internet will create one for you, okay? I remember in 2010, I broke into one of my rental properties. Was it 10? I don't know, 2008. One of my tenants didn't pay rent. You heard the story?
No.
When my tenants didn't pay rent, I'm like, man, shoot, that's my house. I'm gonna go in there and show the new tenants so I can get some rent, get some new tenants in here. So I went in, opened the door. Next thing I know, police came down, they arrested me. I'm like, I'm the owner of the property. You can't arrest me. I had some new tenants there. I had prospective tenants to show the new property. I went inside, new tenants come in. I haven't got rent in 3 months. You cannot go inside of your own property. Remember, real estate has two rights, possession and ownership. So the lady wrote a nasty article about me, so it was all on the internet, and then I was playing recon. So you don't want the internet to talk about you before you talk about you, all right? So just a little nugget there for you. Work on your digital footprint. But if you're wrong, you don't have to worry about that. You got me and... Yeah, you don't, or if you don't have to, you don't want to do it, team up with somebody that does. Okay, so the lady called us. She said, listen, I want you to buy my property. I went to look at it. I'm like, yeah, not really interested in condos. Then we agreed to do an equity share where we took over her mortgage payments, all right? And we're gonna see that in your partnership agreement. Does everybody understand subject to?
Yes.
Subject to, okay, that's where we step in and we take over the seller's payments. Real simple. Now, I don't want you to think that this business is a little bit complicated. I don't want to diminish the fact that you're gonna have to get some skills and educated. I don't want to make it seem like you can just flip houses, no cash, no credit, without getting educated, because it doesn't work like that. So we stepped in, we took over her payments, and we agreed just to split the profit. It's called an equity share. An equity share, okay? These are some of the things you just got to learn. So we put the property into a trust, which you don't have to worry about that today. Basically, she deeded us the house, and when we sell it, we'll give her half of the profit, right? So based on my numbers here, the profit is just stupid. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it is. And we got an offer. What was it? How much over? 10,000
10,000 over, I'm sorry.
We got offered 10,000 over asking price, y'all. This is stupid. Okay, how do we finance it? Subject to, we took over the seller's payments. Because we don't want to, remember I was telling you about the down payment, go to the bank, 80%. We won't do that no more. Well, I will do it, but I prefer not to do it. So we finance this property by literally taking over the seller's payments. And let's see here. If you look at your partnership agreement at the bottom, part number 4, where it says contribution, the first line that says there, well, partner, you see those two columns, P1 and P2? Yes. That's partner 1 and partner 2. Partner 1 is us, partner 2 is our homeowner or seller. Partner 2, she initial there, will contribute $55,000 towards acquisition and closing costs. Now, generally speaking, when you're doing a partnership, you're going into a house. but she already owned it. So we didn't have to actually go buy it. Everybody following me so far? Real simple, y'all. So how much money did we have to put up to buy this property? Zero. Is anybody getting some good stuff right here today? No money. $0. Well, we had to pay $1,000 for closing costs. I don't know. You signed the deed. I don't even know.
The closing cost was like $1,200.
We had to pay $1,200 to buy it. Okay. Please get this, y'all, because this is where you will shine. People will let you take over their payments. Why? Social media. I'm telling you, Melissa, if you're watching, how you doing? Thank you for trusting us with your property. We did everything we said we were going to do. She contacted me from social media, watched 1 million of my videos, right? She says, Kris, I've hired all these people to come do work. I've hired a property manager, hired this person, this person. She's been screwed over 1 million times. We never said that before, right? Never been screwed over in real estate. Contractor's not showing up. She's like, Kris, I'm done with it, man. Can you help me? My thing is, we've been in her shoes. We've been there. I've seen jobs Ron has done where contractors do something wrong. He's got to come clean it up, fix it all up. We all get suckered in by contractors. It happens. But when I create my digital footprint, I want to let people know that I have the integrity, honesty, and empathy that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, right? Real simple. So she let us deed the property over. We're doing the work. Now let's get into the construction part. Ron, you want to go over a little bit of what we did in this one? Because you're a man on that. I have no idea.
Yeah, so
Come on up, brother.
with construction, I guess it can be question and answer. So basically,
You want to write down some stuff, or you just kind of go? I can write for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can
cool.
write it for me, yeah. So in this particular job, we spent,
Let's start with the kitchen, Ron. How's he looking, Smitty? Good. Generally speaking, we usually do the whole kitchen, right? Rip out cabinets, and I didn't even know you could do this. Ron showed me you can just replace the faces on the cabinets. I'm like, you can do that?
yep.
Doesn't it look brand new? It looks brand. Yeah, that's right here. Nora, you gave me a new name tag. Let me get you. Yeah, Ali, can't see your name. Just write it real big. I'm gonna do it for you. How about that? Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, so basically in the kitchen, we painted the boxes and replaced the door fronts. And so this little box right here is how they come. This is one of the door fronts right here. So this is how they come. These came wrong 3 times, so that's why we have so many extra ones.
What is the definition of wrong?
So you have to measure the inner box. So they measured outer, and came too small. You have to measure it a certain way, and the hinges were hinged wrong. So the hinges need to be on the left side. This is hinged to be on top of the cabinet, so it's not going to work. So
Who measures them, Ron? Do you measure them?
no, so I use Ferguson for pretty much all my material. So they came out and they measured the boxes. They measured the boxes and installed the door front. So
Fronts, what you call that? Replace fronts.
replace door fronts.
Okay, cool.
So when you measure it, they send their measurements to this company called Cinch, where it's a company in Texas actually. They fabricate the fronts and they ship them out in these boxes. So whenever you get the front, it's delivered to your house just like this. So if I open this box, it'll have door fronts, hinges, hardware, whatever you want to come with the fronts. You can get them in white, gray, brown, whatever the color may be. But I recommend that you don't measure them yourself, because if you mess up, it's on you.
They won't cover it. You're hearing
So
it.
the question was, with price increases now,
You good.
have I noticed an increase in material costs for the door fronts themselves? So door fronts, to answer your question, is yes. I want to say about a 10% increase in price.
What were they before, Ron, and what are they now? And
So on average, you're going to spend about $400 to $500 per kitchen for fronts. That's on an average kitchen this size. This one was $650.
does each door cost the same no matter the size, or smaller ones cheaper?
Yep, same size. It's about $24 per door on average.
That ain't bad. So
it's a good way to save money, but the labor costs won't go down because most guys prefer to replace the cabinets.
easier.
It's easier than painting door fronts because they probably painted those at least 2 or 3 times, the fronts, and they still have holidays and light spots that you can pretty much, I can see, but you may not be able to see it from back here. So I do see things that.
You're talking Chinese, man.
I'm sorry.
What is the holiday?
Holidays are light spots in the paint.
Light spots in the paint.
Yeah.
What's that from?
Not enough paint, not enough coats, not primed properly, not enough coats of paint. So you can see light spots in the paint.
Okay.
I'll try to speak clear terms. You two probably understand what I'm talking about, but yeah.
Now, light spot. You said, oh, go ahead, Trey.
From a cost perspective, what made y'all decide to keep the fronts opposed to ripping everything out? Was it cost? Was it time frame for things to come in? Kind of what do y'all consider when it comes to?
So when the boxes are in good shape, we always attempt to not replace the boxes. We painted at times. We painted the fronts and the boxes, and we've also replaced the fronts. I do fronts all the time. This is the first time on a flip that I've done them, but mainly in apartments we'll do fronts.
The key word is attempt.
Yeah.
Attempt, because we just had one we attempted at Stony Ridge, but it just fell apart.
Yeah. So so you probably save about half the cost by doing fronts, labor costs. So in essence, this kitchen normally would have cost about $2,400 for cabinets.
Just for materials.
Materials, we probably spent $1,200.
That's big, y'all.
Yeah.
That's huge.
With labor and material and the fronts and things like that. So it's about half the cost.
You made a reference to Stony Ridge falling apart. Could you elaborate?
Oh yeah.
So that's
Repeat
totally
that,
different.
Ron.
So
Repeat
his
that.
question was Stony Ridge. This is a totally separate house we're working on now.
About the kitchen
The
cabinets.
kitchen cabinets, we're going to do the same thing at that property, but they were in such disrepair we couldn't do anything. We couldn't salvage those at all. So
But Ron, when we bought it, we thought we were going to be able to. So the budget was X, right? But then we walk in there and
yeah.
why didn't we keep the top ones, Ron? Because the top ones were okay at that place.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have matched.
No, okay.
It wouldn't have matched that great, So we replaced the bottoms and with a white shaker the tops. They wouldn't have matched. The match wouldn't have been that great.
So keep the fronts if you can. Would you say?
I would say just paint cabinets if you can. You don't have to replace the fronts the way we did on this one, but if you can paint cabinets,
Oh, wait, just paint. Why didn't we paint these?
because I just wanted to have that white shaker look, So that's
Well, they just flat. It was just wood.
it was lots of wood. Yeah,
Explain what flat panel and what this is, Ron.
that's a shaker style. So
Y'all hear that shaker style? I don't even know what that is.
shaker is pretty much what you see on all of this. This is shaker style cabinets. What you see on pretty much most houses now.
Okay.
Shaker style front, and the ones that we replaced were like a wood paneling. You may see them in a lot of homes built in the 80s. So I don't like painting those myself because you can still see the wood grains on the fronts. So that's the reason why most of the time we'll go with door fronts and not paint the cabinets.
So this one we just painted cabinets. Did we paint the doors too, or the
No, we replaced the doors with the fronts.
replace the doors?
He don't do the construction part at all, as y'all can see, right?
How did we know?
He don't even know. Yeah. So we painted the boxes, installed these fronts,
Okay.
and put on new hardware on the fronts.
Tell them about your hardware, Ron. That's sexy. I've never seen you use that before.
Yeah. So matte
seen it
black
pop
is
up
just the
lately.
hardware, something that you kind of see beginning to be kind of trendy. So I kind of go with whatever was trending at the time. At first it was brushed nickel.
Yeah, everybody wanted.
Everybody knew brushed nickel. So now everything is kind of like matte black now. So I just look at stuff and kind of go with trends, So I work a lot in apartments, and I kind of take some of those concepts that we do in apartments and just put that inside of the flips that we do. Because guys spend millions of dollars to hire architects and designers, and I just take their ideas and apply them to flips. That's it. So, yeah.
So that's for the kitchen.
Yeah. So kitchen,
Granite.
granite. Yep. It's all granite. I mean, granite is like Formica now. People
Dang.
expect to see granite. I mean, I see some, and I always study other listings before I do anything. So
What was our competition then?
The one that I wanted hit the price point had granite. They pretty much
Yes.
did the same thing. They
Okay.
painted their cabinets, but didn't look that great, and they used granite. And they installed granite.
Okay.
So I kind of took that comp as my price point where I wanted to be when we sold the house.